Good day, folks. I've been putting off this wind turbine, wind energy rent for, it must be 18 months or more now, because there were so many issues and scenarios I wanted to cover. But every time I sat down like this and tried to record it, get everything I want to say, it was taking like 21, 22 minutes. And that's far too much. So I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to hope that, I'll try to keep it down 10 minutes and hope I can get your attention for that long. What I have to say here is far too much to memorise. So you'll see me stumbling a little bit, reading my notes, lick my fingers to turn a page, cutting away to start over. There's no fancy recording studio here, folks. Strictly amateur. But it's something I've got to get now. I've got to try to help before it's too late. And I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you, for future generations. If there's any way this might help, I'm going to do it. I'm not doing it for me. I've had over 60 years in the outdoors, loving the outdoors. I'm doing this so your kids, your grandkids, I want my 5-year-old grandson and my 10-year-old granddaughter to be able to go pick berries, to just enjoy the outdoors. Anyway, before I ramble on too much, let's get going. For those that don't know me, my name is Gord. I was editor of the Newfoundland Sportsman magazine for 32 years, and I was co-host of the Newfoundland Sportsman TV show for parts of 15 years. So I got to travel around Newfoundland and Labrador quite a bit over those years. And no, I'm not a tree hugger. Anybody knows me can vouch for that. There have been so many changes to this whole wind energy nightmare that it's hard to keep up. Many things I would have commented on 4-8 months ago would probably not be applicable now. So, but the bottom line remains the same. We have to do everything in our power to stop this environmental and financial disaster. That's all it's going to be, to make millionaires billionaires. We got to stand up today, folks. Today. For the sake of future generations of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, we must put a stop right now to being treated like we're the most stupid and gullible humans on the planet, letting governments away for what they're doing to us. The animals and the environment do not have a voice. They do not have a voice. We are the voice. Please keep that in mind. They do not have a voice. If these controversial wind energy mega projects go through, the Port-au-Port Peninsula and Conroy Valley on the west coast, beautiful, beautiful place, will be destroyed. Parts of the Bjorn Peninsula will be wiped out. I can't believe it's even being considered. Central Newfoundland, Clarenville, and anywhere else these are planned will never be the same. Never. If you're going to support it, accept that. We can't continue to expect a dozen outspoken fighters to do all the work for us. Question your MHA. Put it right to them. Ask if they honestly support this destructive industrial turbine industry, or are they just towing the party line? And if so, why is this the party line? I still don't understand it. MHAs were elected to look out for our best interests. That is, the number one goal. But they've obviously been told to ignore their constituents, and hopefully will go away. I've seen it happen. I've had many, many years in the media business. I know how this works. I know what they're doing. Again, they figure that we lack the intelligence to make such big decisions ourselves. So it's got to be done for us. Our MHAs need to step up now, either one by one or en masse. They got to stop their support for this devastating industry. Listen to your constituents. Don't try to hide. Folks, if you don't confront your MHA and ask directly, they'll beat you in this game of hide and seek every time. I've seen it. Unlike a few months ago, when there was little doubt that the Liberals would return to power in the next provincial election, which is coming up soon. Tony Wake and the Conservatives now have a chance, since the Liberals started bailing from a sinking ship. Not exactly honourable discharge for many of them, but we leave that one alone for now. If the Conservatives want to ensure victory, they must change their policy on these mega wind farms, even if it means less donations from the rich. The vast majority of people are against wind farms and turbines. Why is this not clear to our politicians? What am I missing? What am I missing? Who's advising them? We all know the so-called environmental assessments were a complete joke. But what did Tony Wakeham and the PCs do about it? Dick all. And please, spare us the PC rhetoric that in order for you to support these, they had to be done under strict safety guidelines. It's just a way to try to cover their asses. Except for a couple of hundred jobs, folks, there's virtually nothing in this for us. Hell, 50,000 permanent full-time jobs would not make up for what we stand to lose. This is not an exaggeration, folks. It will not make up for it. Not even close. Not even close. There's no bringing back what we stand to lose here. A couple of years back, I heard former MP Goody Hutchins at the news conference say something along the lines of a little 5-year-old girl mentioned that she's going to be so happy now that her daddy can stay home to work instead of going like 2 weeks on and off, 2 or 3 weeks on and off on the mainland, where you make a lot more money. Anyway, and I wondered, as Daddy was tucking her in that night, did he tell her that within a few years there's going to be nothing here for her, and that she'll eventually have to move away for work and raise a family of her own? And that place that Daddy takes her to pick berries, or their secret gully to catch a few trout, or when they just want to go with the glasses to see moose and caribou, maybe do a little bit of salmon fishing. Did he tell her all this is going to be gone or affected in some way? No, might be time to fess up. Government won't have to spend hundreds of millions on resettlement programs because nobody is going to want to live in these places once they start looking more like the surface of the moon than the beautiful countryside that they are. Where are our major protection and tourism groups in all this? And please, if they've already come out strongly against this, and it might be something that I missed, just let me know. But I'd like to know, where's the Atlantic Salmon Federation on this? What about the Nature Conservancy of Canada? That one is kind of suspicious. They're after me every week per donation. Same as the Canadian Wildlife Federation. I don't hear anything from them. What about our Provincial Tourism Association? Our Outfitter Association? Your silence is deafening. How many individuals, groups and associations are keeping quiet on this because they hope to be bought out? Have any of them already been promised reimbursement for losses they may incur at the expenses of the environment, our land, water, fish, animals, and all of us who live here, I wonder? And why isn't the media giving this the attention it deserves? I'm just... Another one baffles me. The occasion story just doesn't cut it, especially if it's one-sided, and we've seen a few of them. Accurate, adequate, unbiased reporting, asking the tough questions. That's the media's job. We're not asking them to do us a special favour. That's the media's job. One of the most talked about things that we stand to lose through this wind turbine mess is our scenery. Vast, rugged, spectacular scenery. But folks, this is just part of the big picture. With the loss of our beautiful scenery comes polluted lakes, rivers, and even water supplies. Moose, grouse, ducks, salmon, trout, they're all going to be affected, if not wiped out completely in many areas. And what about waterfall, as another example? Newsflash, ducks and geese need water. But there isn't going to be much. We'll be practically drained dry, for the love of God. And bogs, they're not just something to get our quads stuck in. They are crucial to the environment. Removal of bogs puts the land at great risk of flooding. And we're not just talking about a few culverts here, folks. We're talking about towns being wiped out. And what a better time to point out the importance of our water as right now, today, as I'm recording this, wildfires are ravaging our province. We're going to need our water ourselves. Water has never been so important as it has been in recent years. The world is growing more desperate for good water year after year after year. We have it, but the bloody provincial and federal governments, as well as some indigenous leaders, they want to give away to millionaires and billionaires. No, this should never be considered. Any of you still believe government and business officials when they tell us that we'll still be able to hunt, fish, pick berries, wherever we want, just like we did before? Bullshit. We're not even going to be able to have a friggin' boil up wherever we want. There's so many other questions being tossed around in the energy business, and with all our wind, woods and waters free for taking, the sky's the limit, if we let them. I had to wipe blood from my eyeballs just a few years back when I saw Justin Trudeau and I think it was the German Chancellor, some official from Germany. They landed in Steenville, and Trudeau basically put out his arms and said, "This is Newfoundland. Take what you want." Oh my God. I know. Anyway, this is not letting the world know that Newfoundland is open for business. Again, this is pick what you want. And not only is it free of charge, the Liberals are using our money to pay them to destroy our environment, our scenery, our resources. I mean, $130 million to a billionaire to help get this destruction off and running? I don't think so. Good God, man, how was this ever approved? Politics, oh my God. I had intended to talk for a couple of minutes on the betrayal of our people by some of the politicians and so-called leaders supporting this, but I'm running out of time. I will say, though, that they should be ashamed of themselves for betraying their people. It's pretty obvious to those of us not ignoring the facts that the majority of the people in Newfoundland and Labrador simply do not want these giant wind turbines. Andrew Fury and company went ahead with this without proper approval from residents. Besides all that we stand to lose, everything that I'm looking at here, that's the next biggest issue in all of this for me. They did it without our approval. Without our approval. They apparently believe that, again, we're too stupid to make such important decisions, so they went ahead and did it for us. I'm not okay with that. Are you okay with that? This is public, not private. They had no right to do what they did. Each and every one of us has a say in this. Not just Indigenous people, not just small town mayors and councillors. We all do. But, you know, government and the millionaires and billionaires wined and dined, bought and paid for the support of these people, town mayors, councillors, and they took care of all that before the rest of us knew what was going on. Sneaky. Talk about pulling the wool over your eyes. They pulled the whole damn sweater over and then need us in the shops. Folks, we not only need any and all discussion and work on this to end now. We don't want to deal with it ever again. Not 5 years down the road, not 10 years, never. They'll destroy the whole province. They'll destroy us. Now, here's another thing to keep in mind. And I've been looking at this, the legalities of it and all this stuff, and I believe that we should demand a referendum. A referendum technically is a general vote by the electorate on a single political question that has been referred to them for a direct decision. A referendum is what we need, it's what we deserved. before another hour of work goes into this stuff. Do not allow government officials to ignore our demands for a referendum, hoping we'll just go away. Again, that's what they're doing, folks. Now, and never mind the useless government paid poll of 700 or 800 people to find out exactly what government wants to find out. No, a referendum. We demand a referendum. Like, is there a lawyer out there? Not one of those wingnut lawyers now. Like a good lawyer who could take on this case, and in exchange for payment, you get more exposure and publicity than you could possibly get anywhere else. Please, if there's anyone out there who knows somebody, it'd be a great case to take on. Okay, it's getting long, I know, so there's so much more I could say. I'll wrap things up with a quote from a lady by the name of Linda Morgan, who wrote a year or more ago on one of the anti-wind energy Facebook pages. Wake up, Newfoundland. This is not job creation. It's the demise and destruction of our island in the sea.